folks, welcome back in Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker, back from his one-month hiatus in the West Indies, South Africa, Los Angeles, kind of an atmosphere taking photos. Is my friend Rob Butterfield. Nice to have you back finally.
Good to be back. I tell you what, if you ever win a vacation to Cameroon, West Africa, you've entered the wrong contest.
Well, number one, there's no internet from what I understand,
No,
so that would be
not.
automatically off my list, and I guess cell phone service is probably shoddy as well, so that's one place I wouldn't be going.
Nope, there's no comms. You're pretty much, it's back in the 70s.
Well, you're back in western Wisconsin and back to the hotbed of racing action in this area. We're going to start things off with your annual weekly recap, starting at the Crosse Speedway, where we had fireworks all over the racetrack except the good ones up in the sky. We're going to save those for this Friday night. Let's start things off with the lacrosse late models. And Brad Powell had somewhat of a dip over about a 2-week span earlier this year. That dip is now gone, and he is probably the biggest contender of the Speedway to challenge Steve Carlson for that track championship. Brad Powell had a father versus son chase happening in his mirrors. Steve Carlson on a restart passed his son Mike after those two had battled it out for a couple of laps. And Brad Powell says, you guys can duke it out. I'm just going to try to win this race. And that's exactly what he did. We talked to Carlson after the race, and Steve just said, I just could not get my car to perform at the top side like he had earlier the night when he qualified the quickest again with a 19-second lap. And Brad Powell, second feature of the year.
It was good to see Brad run up front and finally get his win. Do you think, because here we are approaching midway of the season, you know, now the tire management program's starting to kick in, you know, where they're only allowed to get one, you know, night or one tire a night. I just wonder if that's starting to play a role and if we're going to start seeing some different winners.
I wouldn't be doubtful. I mean, there's some guys out there, still 5 or 6 drivers I still think have legitimate shots getting feature race wins this year. I mean, Steve Carlson's just been on this big-time rail from, what does he have, 4 feature wins, 3 seconds, and a third. I mean, that's been a long time since I've seen a late model driver with that kind of a record in the first 8 nights.
Well, Carlson's a class act, and I mean, he knows there's nobody on that track that knows that speedway like Steve does. I mean, he could do it in his sleep.
To the Sportsman 15-lapper we go, and there were some firsts in this race here. I've never seen the back end completely blow out of someone's car. We'll show you that here in just a minute. First and foremost, you know, Steve Bachman broke his hand. He'll be back out in a couple of weeks. We would have figured he was going to contend for a championship, but the man that has stepped up to challenge Nick Clements is this man right here, Tony Lease, in the 07, doing what he could to try to chase down the Ka-Chow number 8 of Nick Clements throughout the night. Clements was just on a rail again, blew the doors off of everybody in this feature event, but Tony Lease came through with another solid second-place finish, and this is going to be interesting to see how these points shake out as we get into Oktoberfest. This mad dash towards the end right here. You got Brian Hesselberg running strong, Jimmy Crackhorn Gilster again running strong, and this is going to be entertaining, especially when you start getting towards fest. You have a big fest race where the area sportsmen start coming in from all over the place, and they can get with this rules package. But right now, Nick Clements, 4th feature win of the year, was followed by Lee Stemmer, Hesselberg, and Gilster, and Clements has just been unstoppable. He
has been. I mean, watching the tapes, even when I'm gone, I try to watch his, or at least read, you know, what I can. And he has been. He's pretty much been untouchable. I don't know if it's a paint job or what. I mean, I don't want to take away from his talent. He's a heck of a driver.
I think that was his 5th quick-time qualification of the year as well.
Right. He's lightning fast.
Well, let's go to some lightning that took place on the front straightaway here as we show you the events coming out of turn 4, kind of back and forth as to actually really what happened. So we're just kind of going to roll the video and show you here. It involved Brad Worthen, Jeff Thompson, Billy Martin, and the end result, well, wasn't good. I watched the entire back end blow off of Thompson's car. You can see Worthen kind of bobble right here as he came out of turn 4. He bounced off Thompson, who then bounces off Martin. Martin gets sent into the wall, and Jeff Thompson, I've never seen this in my entire life, the entire axle broke free.
It was reminiscent of that Ryan Newman crash at Daytona several years ago. Of course, Ryan got up and down, but I've never seen one come apart quite like that either.
That was just an incredible crash. Jeff Thompson saw on social media this week, started trying to put that thing back together. Body panels are coming off. They're trying to straighten what they can. Billy Martin, I guess, didn't have that much damage. And right at the end of that clip right there, I commended him as the announcer of the racetrack for getting out of his car and running across to make sure that Jeff was okay.
Right, and that says a lot about the groups of guys that compete locally, no matter what track you're at. I mean, they're friends, they're competitors, they're frenemies sometimes, you know, but they really do care about each other.
And to tell you the truth, just like the big tracks, there was a suspension handed down for a couple of weeks in probation. So whether it happens on a lacrosse short track or a Dell short track or the NASCAR tracks, I mean, things like that happen in and out of the pits, and suspensions get handed out in some probation. So, yeah, we have to follow the NASCAR rules at lacrosse. Thunder Stocks, Andy Moore, can't believe it. This was only his second win of the year. After watching Andy dominate for year after year after year, he had some good challenges, though, during this one, and well, I tell you what, it was nice to see Andy do what he did again.
Right. It has been a quiet season for Andy. Normally you hear about him winning often, and it's just only been, what, 2 or 3 times this year so far?
Yeah, I think this was his second. As you watch, I call him El Vian in the El Camino. Charles Vian Jr. Putting a good race on right there as Nathan One-Car White got spun around. And in the closing laps right here, things really got kind of interesting as Andy Moore not only took home the feature, he got a clean sweep. He got fast time, the heat, dash, and feature. 4 for 4, as we seldom qualify the Thunder Stocks, but they had a chance to do that on Saturday night. To the street stocks we go. We had our largest crowd. Actually had 4 brand new cars to the Speedway on Saturday night. We had a 15-car feature, which is simply outstanding. I love watching this class slowly grow. These guys are now owning their cars. You see the paint jobs come out. You see the numbers start getting slapped on a little bit better than just the duct tape that some guys have done that will be changing as well. And for the 1985 Camaro of Trevor Zeller, he had never won a race in anything at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. You're going to see that not only does he pick up a heat race win, but he also picks up a feature race win, and he just dominated the field. I mean, he had a problem spinning out left and right during the early part of the season, and it was nice to see Trevor Zeller finally get things under control and into the victory circle. He held off Keith Larson. Al Bartles was back out, a very familiar name, longtime driver of the La Crosse Speedway in several classes. Andy Feldkamp and John Aaron rounded out the top 5. Next up at the La Crosse Speedway Friday night, July 3rd. Looking forward to this one. It's going to be the Tundra Super Late Model Series coming in along with the Great Northern Sportsman Series. Thunder Stocks, Outlaws, Double Spin to Win, Lights Out Race, and Fireworks. That's going to be coming up here on Friday night at the La Crosse Speedway, so family can spend time with their family on Saturday for the 4th of July. When we come back, we're going to head to the Mississippi Thunder Speedway. We're going to sling some dirt with their recap right here on KQEG TV.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super Stocks, Modified.
600 mods.
Pure Stocks, Street Stocks, B-Mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
Welcome back. I'm Dan Dynker, Rob Butterfield, 7 Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. Make sure to find all the videos on YouTube. They're posted every single week. You can watch them to your heart's content. Now that he's back, you might want to watch that part of the screen a little bit more because he's kind of a hot dude.
Wow.
And Facebook. Rob's been doing a nice job. As soon as they're posted, if he catches it and I don't, bang, the video goes right on Facebook.
Right.
And it's a good way for these drivers to not only get themselves out there, but to get their sponsors out there.
Absolutely. A lot of people have Dish or DirecTV, and of course they don't get this channel in some areas. So yeah, YouTube is the only source for some folks.
Just does a nice job of getting those things up there quick and in a hurry week after week. To the MTS racetrack we go in Fountain City. A big crowd and a lot of cars and some different names getting some race wins this time around last Friday night. We'll start things off with the USRA Modifieds, their 25-lap feature. And on a night that we would see the names of Tim or Angst, it was Keith Foss nailing down the 25-lapper.
Right, and once he got out front, I was watching it from the start. You know, he made short work of the traffic. Well, once he got out front, there was nobody that could touch him. Nobody even got close.
And again, that was a nice run because I want to say that is Foss's first win of 2015 at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway in the USRA Modifieds. And after he cranks the wheel 2 more times, you're going to see him capture the checkered. Slick spots, kind of a tacky track.
Very, very much so. The weather played into it a lot, of course, throughout the week as it normally does, especially with a dirt track. And they were really pouring a lot of water on it. But then it got hard, and then it kind of blued over. And got real slick, so that was kind of the equator for everybody.
And that really, to a lot of race fans, makes it exciting as we go to the USRA B Modifieds. And this gentleman, not only his first or second win of the year, how about number 3 for Eric Cans? This is a kind of guy in the B Mods that if you give him any kind of breathing room, you may as well just say forget it.
Right, you can't do that with this guy. Once he's got her hooked up and he shows his nose out there, if you make a mistake or you give him any room, he's gone.
And you can see him in and out of lap traffic right off the bat. And we've seen him do that. I think all 3 of his races this year have pretty much been uncontested. I mean, there's been nobody even within 5 or 6 car laps behind him.
Nope. And tonight, or that night, it was sponsored by Napa. And they were giving out some pretty cool clocks in Victory Lane. And it was so cool to see, it's always good to see family there at the racetrack. But he had his little daughter, and she was doing everything she could to hold on to that clock in Victory Lane. It was really neat.
One of our other winning drivers put his clock up on Facebook this week. We'll talk about that in a minute because there was like a little tachometer. It was pretty cool. Right. Let's go to the USRA Limited late models. And again, this brand new class at Mississippi Thunder Speedway has been growing throughout the years. Some drivers still working on getting their cars together. And again, Bob Tim feels that this could be a class of around 20 to 25 by next year. This time it wasn't Lance Hofer. Lance has 3 wins this year. Ryan Conkle has 2. Another different name capturing a win. This was Troy Hovey.
Troy Hovey, the Go Gordo team. There's a lot of those guys out there, but he was another one that once you get him out front, he's going to be very, very difficult to pass.
And I want to say a former track champ, a couple of time national champion, and then you put him into a car like this where he's run late models before, and it's hard to beat a guy that's got that much seat time.
That class is really going to start tightening it up. A lot of these guys are figuring it out. You mentioned the other 2 drivers, but some of the guys that have not seen Victory Lane yet, they're going to get there soon. And with all the talk of the town and the area with this class growing, there's a lot of interest in it. So it's not something that was new and people were talking about. It's actually gaining momentum as the year goes along because they are putting on a great show.
I think we're going to give a nickname out to our next champion to visit Victory Lane Friday night. The Wausoda Superstocks picking up win number 5 on the year. I want to say he had 7 last year, and that's Tommy Richards. And you talk about a guy that has totally not only figured out this class and figured out that car on the track, but putting it all together to be able to do what he's done. I mean, 5 wins is hard to do at any single track.
Absolutely. He's really shown his strength all year long. And he's another one where he gets out front, and he's checked out. He's definitely got something figured out, and I don't think he's going to tell anybody what he's doing.
No, that whole Richards Racing clan, whether it's here or Deer Creek or some other tracks they run, I mean, you watch a Richards trailer pull up, and you're like, oh, man, we're going to have our hands full tonight. Right. And again, he got win number 5 and did it again. Let's go to the MTS Sportsman feature. We were talking about those Napa clocks given out. Jordan Becker, only driver in the state that has Woody Woodpecker holding a Bud Light in the side of his car, which he did 2 years ago. Came out in a great class of cars right here and ended up picking up the feature win. And what I said, that's his 2nd or 3rd this year. He missed week number 1. If he wouldn't have missed that week, and then his next week was kind of a test for having a new car out there. Right. You talk about a points lead. I mean, this guy could really have it.
He's definitely dominating that class. I mean, my nephew runs in that class as well, so this is one of the classes that I watch quite a bit. But Jordan Becker, man, he's class of the field.
I love turn 2 at MTS because there's always a pass. You see the 7 car. Why did it get down low?
Right.
But it's not like an asphalt track where you can just kind of make it stick and stay. You got to be able to hold the back end of that thing down. And Becker with a late race challenge right there fends off and picks up another win. Hornets, well, Johnny Sievertson. Back in 2009, he was the last track champion at Mississippi Thunder Speedway when it came to dirt Hornets. That year, had 11 straight feature race wins. Now, this year, he picked up win number 5 at MTS. There was a gap, though, so they weren't 5 straight.
Right.
But if there's a guy in the Hornet class, which has kind of gone back and forth between 12 cars and 20, 15, 25, there's always one guy, Johnny Sievertson. I think he has enough time to get 11 wins this year.
I think he's probably one of the smoothest guys out there. When you compare classes, his lift points, and he's back on the gas at almost the same exact spot every lap. He's just so consistent. And that car is well prepared. You know, other than the one mechanical issue that he had, a month or so ago,
yeah.
He's got it. I think what they ought to do is start making him start in the back, or maybe even drive another car.
Or put 1,000 pounds on there.
Or $1,000.
And you know, he told us at the dirt track about 4 weeks ago, after he picked up a feature race win, that I'm done. I'm going to go into a different class. My 14-year-old son's been chomping at the bit to get in that Hornet car. But then it's win number 4 and win number 5. So I think his son's going, come on, Dad, it's my turn.
Well, it's kind of hard to get out of that car when you got that much success.
Coming up Friday night, Mississippi Thunder Speedway. It's their 7th annual River City Rumble. A lot of cash for the A-mods and the B-mods. Matter of fact, a lot of cash going out to every single class at the dirt track. They're going to start things off at 5:30 with the regulars racing starting at 6:30. Expect a huge crowd of cars up there as well. MississippiThunder.com. As we told you at the top of the program, the Tundra Super Late Model is coming to the Crosse Speedway also Friday night. One of the top Tundra drivers from the area, Corey Jankowski, is going to join us next in the program, and he's going to be bringing cranberries and a whole bunch of them. We're going to have to move Rob off the set because he has a box sitting down here that's full of cranberries. That's coming up next on 7 Rivers Racing.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modified,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
Welcome back, 7 Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker. Just before the break, we were telling you about a big race coming up at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, one that I had circled on my calendar as soon as the schedule came out this year. I think this will be the 3rd year that the Tundra Super Late Models are going to be making an appearance back at the La Crosse Speedway. To me, it's like a mini Oktoberfest because every driver in the Tundras is in Oktoberfest, and it's a nice chance to talk to some old friends, some new drivers that are coming through. And again, that's going to be on Friday night, July 3rd. No racing this year on Saturday night La Crosse. It's Friday night, July 3rd. And my next guest, without even seeing who he is, if there was some way I could block out him and just see, well, here's a good indication right here. I've got 2 cranberries right there. And if you pan that camera over that way, Superstar Motorsports, Corey Jankowski always comes with cranberries courtesy of Habelman. Hey, glad to have you back on the program.
Back at you. Love to be here. Thanks for having me before Rockfest this time.
Yeah, that was right. Last year you kind of didn't have a voice.
No, I didn't have a voice at all.
Well, it's good to have you back on the program. Of course, only guy, and I even talked about this at the track on Saturday. Drivers, when you come on the program, you've got sponsors. Bring stuff. I think this is the 3rd year in a row now that you've brought something representing your biggest sponsor.
Yep. These I had to save a little bit. This is what the package comes into. You'll see them at the stores. Well, I can't say Burnside no more. They all got bought out by
That's true, yeah.
now. So, but anyways, they do have all these packages up coming in the fall here. But I had to save a case of this. So for this program, so I was saving all of this to put on your show here.
And these are good, too. These are really good.
Yeah, you can
fresh.
have them
You hear them
fresh.
crack?
Yeah. A little frozen, but they're good.
Habelman's in Toma. You can not only can you find them in Toma, you can find them on your car for, I don't even know how many years now you've had them as a sponsor.
Yeah, in 2008, I've had them on my car, and they've been wonderful. They've stayed behind me throughout, even the good times and the bad times, my little racing ordeals.
Sure.
I've been having actually really good luck lately a little bit. You know, haven't won a championship since I wore this old jacket here since 2010. I won a back-to-back down in the Dells for limited late models. So I'm getting closer. When you bump yourself up to super late models, it's just an all new.
That's a whole different monster right there.
Yeah, it's another digit, but it's a lot to learn. But I like it. It's fun.
Now, you've been with the Tundra, you've been since day one, because this is year number 3. Have you raced all 3 years?
I've been on most of the Tundra series. Sorry, I love these cranberries.
Keep eating. They're good. They're good.
The Tundra series, I think I skipped out in 1 year. I think it was 2013. I didn't do that much with them. Just trying to recalculate a lot of things I was working on. And since last year, I got a team together. That's the biggest thing. I was missing a team.
Right.
And the last couple years, I've been growing on getting a team together. I have actually John Olson. He actually helps me out and stuff. I got a new guy, Andy. He's been coming help me out. I went back to Derek Squire's shop, whatever. So that's kind of my little headquarters there now. So he's been helping me out. And so I think it's come along pretty good. Last year, like I said, we had a slow start, but we ended up real strong in the Tundra Series, finished 4th overall in the point system.
That's not easy to do.
No.
Not with those drivers that are in the class.
Especially we had 3 tracks I've never been to. One was Norway, Michigan, Kaukauna, and Slinger. And
that's 3 different monsters as well.
Tell me about it. I actually finished very well, and well, not Kaukauna. I didn't do it a little good. This year I did a little bit better, but last year I did.
Just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, you go on a big track for the Tundra Series with a crate motor. They make you weigh a lot less. I mean, we're about 200 pounds less than everybody else. But I still couldn't get to qualify in. But I had a provisional, and I used it very wisely.
Nice.
I didn't hesitate. So you want to use your provisional? I said, sure.
What did you think of Michigan? I've had some Tundra drivers on the radio show this year, and I asked them the same thing as the ones that had never been to that Norway track.
When I went there, I actually qualified for the show. And it was 30-some cars plus, and I qualified for it, and I was very impressed. And but when I raced with some of their locals, I learned a lot of things. If they tap you once, that's a warning to move over and let them by.
Right.
Because the second time they move you. And I got sent. It's funnier than heck, but
home track rules, I guess.
Home track rules. And so, that's how they play around here. Okay.
Well, you've got lacrosse coming up here in a couple of weeks. I know that you're always a big-time fan favorite to come back to Crosse Speedway.
Yes.
It's the antics. Nobody ever knows what to expect when you come out of the car. You always throw me for a curve during Oktoberfest when you're down there. I mean, it's almost like Oktoberfest. I think the past 3 or 4 years now, we've seen the different things. People expect something out of you during Oktoberfest, which the fans love.
Yeah, I've climbed fences. I've flipped. I can't flip like Edwards, whatever, but I do. Things go in my head because I'm a big WWE wrestling fan.
Sure.
I went to WrestleMania this year for the first time ever, and I thought that was just phenomenal. San Jose, California. Never been there.
Oh, nice.
It was really cool. The whole thing was cool.
I've seen the capes come out before.
Yeah, capes. I like doing the Randy Orton thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just think of stuff in my head, and I don't know. It's always something different because the fans want to see it. I mean, I have a group of people that follow me wherever I go. They always call, text, where are you going next, and stuff like that. So to go in victory lane, do the same thing every time, it gets a little boring.
Right.
So I am going to do something.
Well, it's like a couple of years ago we had at Oktoberfest. I want to say that was maybe 3 years ago. You were one of the 3 contestants for Best Appearing Car.
Yes, I got one.
It was you, and it was when Weinkauf had the old school paint job.
Yep.
And I'm not sure who else was a part of that 3-car. Fan vote for Best Appearing Car at Oktoberfest, and you won that, and the different colored cape came out that time, which really, I still can't believe you got back in your car and back out that fast dressed. And I'm standing right there like, how did he just do that?
That's how I roll.
Corey Jankowski joining us on the program, along with the Hableman Cranberries. When we come back, we're going to talk about what he's done so far this year, whether he feels he has an advantage running the Crosse Speedway for the Thunder Super Late Models July 3rd, and what else is in store for Superstar Motorsports next on KQEG TV.
Get ready for the Thunder!
The Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Your Friday night racing destination.
Every Friday night.
Super stocks, modifieds,
600 mods.
pure stocks, street stocks, B-mods.
It's racing excitement, dirt track style. Tickets $12 for adults, $10 for seniors. Students free with an ID. And this year, kids 17 and under free with an adult admission. Friday night racing starts at 7.
Bring on the Thunder!
Dirt track style at the Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
Highway 35 just north of Fountain City.
Some of the best moments in life happen at home. American Standard Heating and Air works smarter to make them all more comfortable.
Over $400 in rebates available on select American Standard systems. Call Carey Heating and Air Conditioning today for a free estimate.
We are back, Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyker, along with a longtime guest of not only the TV but the radio program, Corey Jankowski, and his Hableman Cranberry spread. No muffins this year. I remember the first time you came on, you had cranberries and you had muffin mix and you had all kinds of stuff on here.
Yeah, I had everything from Bernstad's market, and well, if you heard that, Gordy's bought them out. All the stores, so there is no more Bernstad's on there. So I did something real nice on my car. I have to keep on redoing it because I redid my body a couple times this year already. Boo-boos down to the Dells, but I put a special thank you to Vic Bernstad's. Wonderful.
Oh, neat. Yeah, because they were on your car as well.
Yeah. So for the last couple of years, I've had Bernstad's on there, which held a lot of the produce what I brought here and stuff like that. But I have no food people on my car this year, except for, well, I got my fresh fruit.
There's a lot you can do with cranberries.
Yeah, a ton of things you can do with cranberries. So, yeah.
Corey Jankowski going to be at the Crosse Speedway here July 3rd, along with the Thunder Super Late Model Series. And number one, I understand from what I've heard from a lot of the drivers, we could see a huge car count, not only for the Thunder Super Late Models, but some of these drivers use that race is kind of a test and tune for Oktoberfest. I mean, you're coming back again. You've raced around how many countless years at La Crosse. Yeah. Does that give you kind of an edge?
Yes, it does, actually. There's a lot of tracks I like to try to get to and go there and run their weekly shows. That's what Thunder's all about, is they want us to go out there and run these other weekly shows somewhere, and we use all that information so when the Thunder Series do get there, we got a little heads up. But you can't do it a week ahead of time. Reagan May tried to do that last year or whatever. But anyways,
and she won. I mean, that still gets talked about to this day. For those who don't remember, Reagan May had never been at the La Crosse Speedway before. Yep. I don't even think she had any practice time on that racetrack, and she won the entire race, and she never once had an inside lap. She ran it on the outside, which nobody does, unless you're like Steve Carlson setup type, and which is just amazing.
Yeah. So, but the get down here on July 3rd, and a lot of everybody else is going to focus on Oktoberfest. Right. That's the Super Bowl of it all, baby. You know, everybody looks for that Oktoberfest. I don't know about you, but it's my Super Bowl of it all. You know, show what you got.
As soon as the schedule comes out, there's vacation Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, and if I need to recover again, I'll even take that next Tuesday. Depends how much I'm with this guy during Oktoberfest. So yeah, I know that it's a track that you like to come back to. Both Tundra and Oktoberfest, you've been very successful, especially the past 5 or 6 years.
Yes, I actually has.
Matter of fact, the very first Faster Than a Speeding Bullet I ever presented at the La Crosse Speedway was to you.
Yes,
when I first started at La Crosse.
That was with West Coon Motorsports. Yeah. And boy, that car was something. That had a Ford motor in it, a B&B Ford. That thing had a ton of power in it and stuff like that. But
now, that wasn't to you ran 5 different...
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was jumping in and out of the cars without even touching the ground. I run, 7 different divisions. It was just unreal. If you had a car, I was in it somewhere somehow. I ran everything.
And mighty successful you were.
Very well, very well. Yeah, I got a big old speeding bullet. I think I finished 2nd. I was chasing that guy down, too, for the futures there.
Right.
Yeah, so... Since I still hasn't competed into an ARCA show in Oktoberfest, I'm still eligible for the futures yet. Yeah, I'm a little older, but God darn it.
One of these years.
I'm going to get it sooner or later. So my goal is, and I haven't been in a Dick Trickle yet, too. I missed some, too.
The 99?
Yeah, that one year that was faster than heck, you know, that was all the tires and everything for the futures race. But for the Dick Trickle, we had a tire that went bad for the qualifying stuff. And it was like, are you kidding me? So, I mean, the car was fast, but I missed it. And then I missed the opportunity to get into the show. We're trying to race in there because I was like starting to back and going out through there, and people in my way, and I think I tossed somebody inside. And I go back to the rear, come back, and missed it by 1 position. It's like, oh, darn it.
It's a racing thing.
Yes, it was rubbing. He didn't crash that bad. It was a bump and a rub, and he didn't know how to drive a loose car, I guess. I don't know. It ain't my fault.
Not the first and last time you're going to see that.
Yeah.
July 3rd, you'll be at La Crosse. Between July 3rd and Oktoberfest, what's on your plate?
What again?
Between July 3rd and the Tundras and Oktoberfest, what else do you have going on this year?
Oh, let's see here. We have the Thunder Series coming up down at Dells for the Hableman's 100, August 15th. That's going to be huge. That's always been a big, it's getting bigger. It'll be the 3rd annual now this year, and I'll have to make sure I get some more cranberries down there. And I have something for some people. Got some can coolers. I got some made up.
Very nice.
I had Mary Schill make me up some can coolers and stuff. And then I have something else new, too. And well, I guess I can say it now because then people are like, what is it? What is it? I got some beanies being made up.
Oh, I got to get one of those.
Yeah. So
a couple years ago, you were grateful enough. I got a T-shirt that I still wear.
Yeah. So I thought beanies would be kind of cool. Because, you know, a lot of people sometimes don't like wearing hats. I don't like wearing hats.
Right.
I should wear a hat because I ain't got much hair up there to see, but...
See, I'm kind of reverse. I like hats. My son, Ryan likes to wear beanies all the time.
Yeah. But I like beanies. I think beanie would be kind of cool this year.
And you know the thing is, people would wear them at Oktoberfest, left and right.
Yeah, so I'm getting a whole bunch of them made up. And I'm not the person that sells. I actually really do give them out to people. I mean, I do. I mean, it's hard to just sit there and sell something, so I just give them out, you know. But you have to come to the races. You have to be there. It's not like I'm going to mail it to you.
No giveaways on the radio show.
Technically, I did mail some my product stuff out to this one fan. He's over in Virginia, and he's been a big super fan of mine, whatever. So this last winter, whatever, I just took a whole bunch of stuff and mailed it out to him.
That's
whatever.
cool.
But it's cool to have people, and then it's all because I've been recognized from being in La Crosse, being recognized being on ASA circuits, being national, you know, being out there and national wide, TV programs like yourself, you know, being on radios. People see these little guys, you know, you got these, you know, because look at the Eric Jones and look at all these other guys.
Oh, yeah.
You know, getting out there more and more racing, you're going to get these leads, and then people are going to notice, and then that's how you become more famous, sir.
Well, you know, we're podcasting my radio show this year for the first time, so your fan in Virginia is going to be able to hear it once.
That's awesome.
I was pretty proud of that. By the way, that is 1 to 2 on WKTY. Matter of fact, this Saturday it's from 12 to 12:45 as we have a contractual baseball game right after that. But Corey's going to be on that program. He's going to help us support the Tundra Super Late Model Series this year on radio, and then on July 3rd at the Speedway. Always good to have you back in the program. We'll get you to the radio soon, and I can't wait to see what happens at Fest.
Yeah, I can't wait either, too. So, anyways, everybody, this fall they're going to be more fresher coming out of the bogs. Right now, they're beautiful. We have the beautifulest weather in Wisconsin lately with the hot, nice, warm weather. The rain's been not too bad. But anyways, this will be coming back in your market here in October, if sooner. Actually, September, I think they start looking at when they're going to start picking them. So, get out to your markets. They actually will have all kinds of different markets. Look it up. Hableman's on the website, and you will see everything about them.
got a great Facebook page, too. I popped on there. And on their website, you can also click on Hableman Racing right towards the right-hand side.
Yeah, there is actually a little, I'm on there.
Corey Jankowski, it's always a pleasure to have him back on the program. Check him out on Facebook. And if you've never met him before, you got to meet this guy, especially when they come down on July 3rd. Also on that ticket is the Great Northern Sportsman Series. That'll do it for this week's program. More dirt and asphalt coverage coming up next week. Until then, support the local short tracks. We'll see you next week.